What is Skype for Business? Skype for Business allows you to sign in, and it can be done a number of different ways, meaning a locally installed app, or you could be signed in because you're signed into Office365.com, and it allows you first and foremost an instant message client. So you'll see here Skype for Business. This is our little option so that we can decide how we want to sign in and some of our preferences. Here's our sign-in address. Notice it equals your email address. So if you have an account with Office 365 and this feature's been turned on for you and you have an email address, that's all you need to use. So if you're going to sign on as someone else, notice you can delete your sign-in info so you can re-enter it because it does save it for you. And you're going to sign in as available. This is your presence information. It means you're available to chat. If you know you want to sign in so that maybe you can communicate out, but you don't want people to know you're available, you can change your status right here and put on a do not disturb, not available. There's a couple of different options we'll take a look at. Once you sign in, you're going to see here, your status is that you're available. You can set your location if you so choose, and you will see that you can find someone. As you start with Skype for Business, you're going to see there's no one in your contact list. You have to search for them and put them in intentionally. And that is because if you had, let's say, 500 or 1,000 people that you worked with, you don't want them cluttering up your screen. So if you know you want to chat with Lisa, search for Lisa. When you finds her in the list, you can then right-click and add her to favorites or other contacts or any other groups that you have. Here you can look at your status, the relationships that you have, and of course you can click on New in order to add people to these lists. Skype for Business is formerly known as Microsoft Lync, and I always put that there because there are people who are still calling it Lync even though it's already been a couple of years. You can use it with Office 2013, 2016, and Office 365. All three of those will install a Skype client for you. What people know it most for is instant messaging, but you can hold complete online meetings. Online meetings mean that you have whiteboard, file sharing, screen sharing, desktop sharing. And the difference between a screen and a desktop is I could show you one of my monitors, I could show you everything that I have, or I can share specifically just an application so you can only see the Microsoft Word window because that's what I want to focus on. So the online meeting has all of that, including audio, video, so that you can see each other, etc. You can make phone calls, computer to computer. We can make video calls, computer to computer. Again, you can share your desktop. You can send emails right from the Skype app by right-clicking, on this case, let's say on Amy, and sending a message. And you can also schedule some meetings in here as well. When you look at the Skype for Business user interface, this means that you've actually installed Skype for Business, and it's on your actual local PC. There's no official web client that's going to look like this. The web client is really integrated with Office 365 in other places. And what I mean by that is if I'm in, let's say, Office 365 and I click on People and I see my address book and I see Amy Alberts there, when I click on that contact record, I can start or send an instant message to that person. So it's integrated everywhere you see, but here it's a specific client. So we've got a personal note. You can update your status for the day. If you upload a photo to the My Site or your personal info in Office 365, it will show. You've got your different tabs. We can search for users. Here are the contacts that I communicate with on a regular basis. And of course, our little gear, which always means settings. When you add people into your contacts within Skype, you want to make sure that you set your privacy relationship. Now, when you go back to your profile outside of Skype, we fill this out on the My Site aspect or on your profile tab. You can put everything in there from a personal website to your home number, to your cell phone number, to the department you work in, etc. But you want to make sure that profile has your information, and then you decide who gets to see what. Now, in a small business, you'll find most people don't take the time to fill out all that information. And I'm pretty sure my home number is not in there just because it was never important enough in the first place. But if you're in a larger organization, this is how people are going to find you. This is a replacement of everyone's address book. So when you're trying to call or contact people within your company, this becomes the directory. So if they're part of friends and family, they can see everything. Now, friends and family means really outside the organization. That's something the administrator has to turn on or off. By default, you can only see people inside your organization. If you put someone in the work group, that means they can see a note that you've left, where you're physically working out of, and your contact information, but they can't see home and they can't see your other phone. They also cannot interrupt a do not disturb status. So if you've got that up there, they can't communicate with you at all. If you put them under colleagues, then they get a little bit more information. And they might be able to see you're busy, but they can't see what you're busy doing. External contacts, only basic information. And of course, you've got blocked contacts, which means share only my name and email address, but they can't reach you via Skype for Business. And then you can also do an auto-assign relationship to the Skype for Business default if you want to. So again, if you don't have a larger organization, or if you've not really put any personal information into your profile, it won't matter as much. You're going to find that the default right is here at colleagues. But if your list is getting larger and you want to control who can see what, that's how you're going to do it. Presence-based information allows other users to see if you're available to chat. Now, this is also going to integrate very tightly with the calendar. So if your calendar is scheduled that you're out of the office, then automatically you're going to see that we are busy. So you're going to see the little red dot that says you're in a meeting and you don't want to be interrupted. You can, however, manually set your status to do not disturb, be right back, off work, meaning you're not working and you're not signing in, and you want it to appear away. Now, this is going to happen automatically if your computer is idle, but if you want people to think that you're not sitting in front of your desk, then you can appear away so they can message you, but you don't have to commit to saying you've read it. When you're in the conversation window, you get to see the name of the person that you're instant messaging with. You can add a contact to that conversation, so you can essentially have a group chat. Your side of the conversation is always on the right. Their side of the conversation will always be on the left. Down here where you see the blinking cursor, that's where you write your response. If your response has to have an attachment, a level of importance, or you want to include the ever so popular smiley face, we can do that. We can also take this to another level. So let's say that I'm talking to student 2 and I want to take it a step further. Maybe I want to see them. Maybe I want to talk to them, meaning let's do a computer to computer call, or maybe an online meeting so that we can start collaborating on something. So here, right from this window, I can start a video call, audio call, or present my desktop to show them what I'm working on. Now, if you want to change fonts, open the recording manager, get help, this right here is your ellipsis, which just means a little bit more for features. There are different share options. You can present everything on your desktop so they can see everything you're working on. You can switch between multiple programs, or you can just share specific programs. So let's say I'm working on a PowerPoint presentation and I share PowerPoint. They can see it. And even though my email is open right behind it, they're not going to be able to see my email because I'm only sharing that program. You can present your PowerPoint files, so it's actually integrated that you can give PowerPoint slideshows. You can share files, you can share notes, you can see your notes. This is really from Microsoft OneNote, so you can take notes on the meeting. There's a whiteboard where we have a blank page that people can draw notes, import images on. You can write a poll. So you create a poll to see what the other participants think in the conversation, and really creating a poll is easy. You write your questions, and when they give an answer, it'll show you a live meter of what their answers are. Questions and answered, so it's a more structured environment so that people can get the answers to their questions, how you manage presentable content, how you manage your attachments, and how you manage your notes. If you do a Skype for Business call, you've got the two icons here out of the client or out of a chat window to elevate it, but you can also right-click on a contact in your Skype window and notice you can do a video call or you can set a call and then you can define what type of call. Notice you also have an option to send them an email or schedule a meeting with them as well. When you're in the call window, you get to see that you have 3 participants. You can add contacts to that call. You can show or hide your instant messaging pane. Here you've got some options to turn on your camera, mute or unmute your sound. You can present your desktop. You can hang up on all of them. You also even have call controls like to hold, transfer the call, change the device, or look at volume control. And of course here you've got some other recording options. On the call controls, notice here it looks just like a phone. So we can dial our number, we can adjust our volume. We can also transfer it over to a different device if you're moving. So let's say I'm doing this from the office and I want to transfer it over to my cell phone so that I can pick up the call and continue the conversation. You've got an option to do so.